Once upon a time, there was a magical place that no grown-up had ever seen. It was called the Land of Toys, and it was hidden behind a rainbow, right where the clouds touched the sparkling blue sky. Only children with kind hearts and big imaginations could find it. The Land of Toys was unlike anywhere else in the world. The ground was soft and bouncy, like a trampoline. The rivers flowed with sweet lemonade that never made your tummy ache. The trees grew candy fruits that never stuck to your teeth. And the flowers giggled every time the wind tickled their petals. In this land, every single toy was alive. Teddy bears could walk, dolls could dance. Toy cars could zoom by themselves, and colorful blocks could build tall castles without anyone stacking them. But the most wonderful part of all was that the toys were always kind, cheerful, and ready to play. In the middle of this happy land lived a toy bunny named Binky. He had long, floppy ears, soft, white fur, and a tiny red bow around his neck. Binky loved adventures and was always curious about everything around him. Every morning, he hopped out of his cozy toy house and wondered what fun he would have that day. "Today feels special," he said one bright morning, his button eyes shining with excitement. Nearby, a doll named Lila twirled gracefully in her pink dress. She loved to dance, and wherever she went, tiny sparkles followed her. "Maybe something magical will happen today," she said softly as she spun around. Not far from them, a little toy train named Chuggy puffed along on candy-colored tracks. "Choo-choo, all aboard, who wants to visit the Rainbow Gate today?" Chuggy asked. The Rainbow Gate was the magical archway that stood tall in the heart of the Land of Toys, and it was always full of surprises. Binky, Lila, and Chuggy decided to go together and see what was waiting for them. As they traveled through their land, they passed the giggle fields, where bouncing balls rolled around, laughing joyfully. Ha ha! The balls chuckled, bouncing higher and higher. The friends joined in, giggling and bouncing until their sides ached from laughter. Then they made their way to the candy forest, where lollipops grew on trees and jelly bean bushes lined the paths. The air smelled like cotton candy, and the ground was sprinkled with tiny sugar crystals that sparkled like stars. A kind teddy bear named Mr. Snuggles waved at them. "Hello, travelers. Don't forget to taste the marshmallow berries. They're as soft as clouds and sweeter than honey." The friends each tried one, and the fluffy treat melted in their mouths, making them smile with joy. Finally, they reached the Rainbow Gate, which always shimmered with 7 bright colors. But today, something seemed different. The gate wasn't shining as strongly as usual, and its colors looked pale and faded. Lila placed her hands on her heart and whispered, "Oh dear, the Rainbow Gate looks sad." Chuggy puffed his little steam cloud and said, "Choo-choo, maybe it needs our help." Binky hopped closer and asked gently, "What's wrong, Rainbow Gate?" To everyone's surprise, the Rainbow Gate spoke in a warm and gentle voice. "My colors are fading because I need laughter, kindness, and teamwork to shine again. Will you help me, dear toys?" The 3 friends nodded right away and shouted together, "Of course we will." The Rainbow Gate explained that to bring back its bright colors, they had to find 3 magical treasures hidden across the Land of Toys: the Star of Friendship, the Song of Joy, and the Heart of Sharing. The friends set off on their adventure without wasting a moment. First, they traveled to the Sky Balloon Meadow, where hundreds of colorful balloons floated like stars in the air. Somewhere among them was the Star of Friendship, but the balloons were shy and floated away whenever the toys tried to reach them. Lila asked, "What should we do?" Binky thought hard and said, "Maybe if we show them kindness, they won't be afraid." So the friends smiled, waved, and said gentle words to the balloons. Slowly, One golden balloon floated closer and closer until it landed softly in Binky's paws. Inside the balloon was a glowing star, the star of friendship. "We did it with kindness," cheered Chuggy happily. Next, the friends went to the Melody Lake, where colorful musical notes floated on the water like glowing fish. Somewhere in the lake was the song of joy, but the notes were all scattered and jumbled. Lila stepped forward, her sparkly dress shining. "I can help. I love music." She began to sing a gentle tune, and one by one, the notes began to float together, dancing in harmony. The water shimmered, and soon a beautiful melody filled the air. Out of the music rose a glowing ribbon of sound that wrapped itself around Lila's hands. It was the song of joy. "You did it with music and happiness," said Mr. Snuggles, who had quietly followed them to cheer them on. Finally, the friends traveled to the toy castle, where hundreds of colorful blocks were piled high. At the very top of the castle was the Heart of Sharing, a glowing heart-shaped gem. But the blocks were stacked so high that it seemed impossible to climb them. Chuggy frowned. "We can't do this alone." Binky thought for a moment, then smiled. "We don't have to. If we share our strengths, we can do it together." Chuggy let the others climb onto his back, giving them a strong boost. Lila twirled gracefully, and her sparkles made the blocks lighter and easier to move. Binky hopped quickly from block to block, and with the help of his friends, he finally reached the glowing gem. He picked up the Heart of Sharing and held it proudly. "We did it with teamwork," shouted the castle blocks, who clapped happily with their tiny wooden hands. When the three treasures were found, the friends hurried back to the Rainbow Gate. As soon as the Star of Friendship, the Song of Joy, and the Heart of Sharing touched the archway, the gate's colors burst back into life, shining brighter than ever before. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet sparkled like diamonds in the sky. "Thank you, dear toys," said the Rainbow Gate softly. "Because of your kindness, your laughter, and your teamwork, my magic is strong again. Now all children who dream and play with love in their hearts will always be welcome in the land of toys." The whole land seemed to celebrate. The giggle fields laughed louder than ever before. The candy forest grew sweeter, and the Melody Lake sang the happiest songs. Binky, Lila, and Chuggy hugged each other tightly, proud of what they had done. They knew that they had saved their magical home not with power, but with the most important treasures of all: friendship, joy, and sharing. From that day on, whenever a child anywhere in the world played kindly with their toys, the Rainbow Gate in the land of toys grew even brighter. And if you listened very carefully, sometimes at night you might hear a tiny giggle, a soft choo-choo, or a gentle sparkle, reminding you that the land of toys is always waiting for you in your heart, in your dreams, and in your imagination. And so, the toys lived happily ever after, always ready for the next adventure. The end.